Well, here I am doing another punishment video, but I was done with this. Then Austin Theory, little twerp, had to win the US title. So now here I sit before you, a broken man. And at least I have this title. Never take this one away from me. So, Nate had to pick out the movie I watched. What was it? Yeah, we're recording. And it's took a while. I told you we were never going to get this done before December. And I'm getting a little close to Christmas, honestly. This will be up before then. And if you've seen the thumbnail, you know which movie I finally picked out for me. It's The Nutcracker, The Untold Story. And I think there's a reason it's been untold, because it sucks. Honestly, anytime any movie promotes itself as, like, the real story, the untold story, it's a bunch of bullshit that barely has anything to do with the actual original story. This one's closer to it, because I don't really know the story of The Nutcracker. I have an idea of what it's about. So as far as I know, this one actually ties into the real story. But it's still dumb. Like, looking at it now, I think I remember this one being advertised, but I never watched it. It came out in 2011. It has Elle Fanning and John Turturro and Nathan Lane, of all people. And here's Nathan Lane's character. This is the first major departure I feel from the original play, because I believe it was a Russian play written in the 1800s. Is that it? But what I'm sure it didn't have was Albert fucking Einstein. They never call him that. But he looks like this, and he's called Uncle Albert. And because it's based on a play that's famous for its music, it's of course a musical. And so they not just play the songs from the play, they make up their own songs. And he has a song called Everything's Relative. Wink! Yeah, it's like set in Vienna in the 20s. Clearly not where the original play was set. I will say this. The most notable thing from the Nutcracker play is the Dance of the Sugar Plum Fairies. And you know that song. And if you don't, you're gonna fucking know it by the end of this thing, because they play it every 5 fucking minutes. It's like 90% of the incidental music. I am sick of this song now, so I never want to hear it again. Anyway, I guess I should go over some plot details, but again, if you know the play, you know what's going on. So, Uncle Albert brings Elle Fanning's character of Mary, that was her name, and her brother, her little shit of a brother Max, who breaks everything, brings him a big-ass dollhouse with all the dolls and says things, and the titular Nutcracker. Max immediately breaks the Nutcracker's jaw, and then Uncle Albert fixes it, and then she has, I don't know, is it supposed to be a dream? But Nutcracker comes to life, and this, again, look at this thing. It is horrifying. I was expecting this thing to go on a murderous rampage and kill everyone. That would have made a much more interesting movie. And I'm sure someone's done that. If they haven't, they should. So, you know, Nutcracker's alive. And the CGI for the Nutcracker's not bad. He looks like he belongs there. But it just looks weird to me. I don't know, maybe it's me. And there are a couple times when he, becomes a real boy, like Pinocchio, because that's a thing that happens a lot in 2022 for some reason. But they, talks about how his kingdom was taken over by the rats. Excuse me. And I've never understood why rats. Is that like a political satire I'm missing somewhere? Like in this movie, it's clearly based on, they're clearly based on fascists. And it's an anti-fascist movie, which I'll give it credit for that. We should all be anti-fascist. We should all be Antifa. I'm going to politicize a bit in this, so if you don't like it, fuck off. I mean, that's what the movie is. It made them clearly fascist. They come in with their big buildings. They have the World War I German military uniform on. They burn children's toys. Like the prince was explaining, it's like they burn the children's toys. I was like, oh, I almost thought this was a much darker movie. So, to make a cloud to cover everything, because rats hate the sunlight. I don't know if that's true, but, I mean, making fascist rats is fitting, so, but they're humanoid rats, they take on human appearances, but they still have like these little noses and teeth, and that, honestly, look like the Who's from the Jim Carrey version of The Grinch, so that was really weird. Oh, let me ask this question real quick. Why is this considered a Christmas classic? Because there's all sorts of adaptations. You have the music during Christmas. There's at least one version is playing on the TV during Christmas somewhere. But really, aside from there being a giant Christmas tree, it has fuck all to do with Christmas. Like, it has as much to do with Christmas as Die Hard does. So I guess Die Hard is a Christmas movie, so we can stop with that stupid argument. Or, The Nutcracker is not a Christmas movie. Discuss. Anyway, just standard, gotta beat the fascists. That's the thing. And they do. And the best scene where, like... I'm gonna jump around here, because I don't care enough to go on a timeline. I did get a chuckle out of, like, he's like, I hate that name. Call me NC. And there was another NC who reviewed this movie I saw as I tried to get the image for the thumbnail. I have not watched that. I will never watch that. But I'm sure he made a bunch of dumb jokes about it. Oh yeah! I don't know why this made me remember that, but Nathan Lane as Albert Einstein also would talk to the audience once in a while, but it wasn't like he was a narrator, and it wasn't a constant thing. He just every once in a while would talk to the audience, so that was weird. Anyway, where was I? Yeah, like, they go through the whole thing. There's the John Turturro is the Rat King, and anytime I hear the Rat King, I think of Ninja Turtles. And they have to defeat the Rat King, get the prince's kingdom back, yada yada yada. There's his mom, the Rat Queen, put a curse on him, and that's why he's the Nutcracker, and if Mary believes enough, he becomes a real boy. There's a dancing thing. There's a really creepy romance element to this, and like, can we just all agree that anytime that she's like 11 or 12 in this, can we agree that's a weird thing Hollywood does? Like, it's really weird, it's kind of creepy, I don't know why they keep doing it. I don't know why it's okay for a heterosexual romance between children to be on screen and be, oh, that's so cute and adorable, but if they're the same gender, holy shit, that's a problem. I mean, I know why, but, it's just, it's irritating. But they have to stop the Rat King. I keep going back to that. They have to stop the Rat King. And it's just convoluted the way they do it. They bring in Max, who, like, just immediately betrays them because the rats have cool motorcycles with machine guns on there, and he's a little shit. He tries to find a toy. He gets recruited into the army, and he brings this toy sword, which is all crooked because he breaks toys, and that's why the Rat King likes him, because he breaks toys, and, like Sid from Toy Story. But then, he sees them all like, oh, this is a big moment, and it's like, no one should break another child's toy. I don't like fascism anymore. Well, fuck you, you little shit. Should have thought of that before you went along with them. And the mom, the Rat Queen, put the curse on thing, and she had, to tie this back to wrestling, she has an assistant. I know it's not him, because I looked this up. But the way they made him look, he looks like Michael Cole. It's really fucking weird. It's really distracting. And speaking of people looking like someone else, like, did they purposely try to make the Rat King look like Andy Warhol? Because there is a scene, he's wearing all black, his white wig, and the round glasses. He looks like Andy Warhol, and I don't know what they're trying to say with that, or if that was intentional. And then the dad, who's played by Richard E. Grant, spends the whole movie looking like Tom Cavanaugh as Reverse Flash from the Flash TV show, so that was weirding me out. Oh, fuck, I don't know where I was in describing the plot of this thing, but I'm just talking about the things that stuck out to me. There is a moment where Mary and the living toy monkey, because the dollhouse had 3 dolls in it, along with the Nutcracker. There's a monkey, there's the drummer boy they named Styx, and then the the clown, I forget his name, but they made fun of him because he was fat. And they come to life too, so I guess they're living toys, and they all shrink. Well, when you enter the room through magic, it now has this giant... There's no roof, this giant tree that goes up to the sky, and they shrink as you walk down there. It's really weird. And they have to go to the rat world to save the prince and Max, for some reason. And the prince has become the Nutcracker again, because the rat queen used her potion again. She's powerful. And there's a moment where they capture him, because he has his Napoleon hat on, and he tries to jump and he gets stuck. He's like, I hate this hat. It's kind of a funny joke. And something happened where he's not alive, and they throw him into the giant pile of toys to be burned to keep the cloud running. And Mary finds him. And she pulls him out, and, you know, she does the thing like, I love you, and cries, and her tears bring him back to life and that bullshit. But, through this all, maybe it was a trick of photography, the lighting, maybe they didn't render it. I swear, in his Nutcracker form, while he's on the conveyor belt, to go into the fire, he's missing his right leg. I'm pretty sure I saw her take his right leg out of the pile of stuff to not be burned. I never saw her put his right leg back on. So I was hoping that when he turned human again, he would just be missing a leg. That'd be the funniest fucking thing. I'm human again. Oh my god, my leg! I'm in tremendous pain! What did you do? But that would be interesting. Because that's the other thing. Like, there are a lot of weird, bizarre choices they made that you think would make this more interesting. But it's really boring. Like, I was fighting off not falling asleep during a lot of it. If this is what the actual play is, I don't want to watch it. It's not good. It's not interesting. Maybe when it's all people dancing around, it's more interesting. But the actual story, you know, it's pretty cookie cutter. Seen it before. And this particular version, just boring. Oh! Here's the thing I have to get into. Because like I said, I checked IMDb for some of these people because I want to know who they were, when it was made, all that stuff. You see these people on the cover? All these famous people? All the people with their names up here? None of them are first build. When you go to IMDb, maybe it's just the app. Maybe I'll have to check the desktop version, but the app version, the first billing you see is some dude I've never heard of who plays Dr. Freud. And the two underneath him are Dr. Freud's niece, Dr. Freud's niece. They do mention Dr. Freud, and I'm assuming it's Sigmund Freud, because that's what this movie does, apparently. But they are nowhere in this fucking movie. I never saw them. They were mentioned, but they're never on screen. But they are the top billed actors on IMDb. Why? Was something cut out? Is there a missing version of this? Is this lost media? Maybe I should watch the making of the Nutcracker, the Untold story, but I don't really give that much of a fuck about it. But it's just weird. You'd think it would be her, Elle Fanning, the popular actress, Nathan Lane, John Turturro. No! These random people who are never in the movie. So that should tell you how much they are probably embarrassed by this thing. They don't want top billing on IMDb. So I don't know what else to say. Those are my thoughts on this movie. It was bad. It's dumb. The effects are competent. There was a point where, like, every so often John Turturro's face would become like a rat. Like, bleh, it was CGI. And it looked bad, but also terrifying. So, I don't know why. And they are real rats, because he and his mom shrunk down and then went to the sewer, so Never explained, but I guess because it was all a dream. At the end, it's all a dream she had. Which is, that's the most linear dream anyone's ever had. It's not weird enough to be a dream to me. I've had some weird dreams. There is an ending. Okay, I gotta talk about the ending. I gotta go back and talk about this to talk about the ending. There's, you know, the first night, the rat and the robot rat dogs, which do look horrible CGI, chop down the tree. So something legitimately happened. I can't imagine this whole thing's a fucking dream. Some of this has to be a wig, because things get referenced that's not in this rat world. But the tree got knocked down, and the dad's like, why did you do this, Mary? And we're going to talk to Uncle Albert. And he convinces Uncle Albert, and he says, talking to you need to take your dollhouse and stop filling my daughter's head with such poppycock. Imagination. Children have an imagination. How dare you? And Albert sings another song about how the dad had a magic pebble. And with his pebble, he was the kingdom of his own world. He had a pirate ship. You know, he was a child. You were about Mary's age at that point. And then he's like, here, I kept it for you. And then walked away. And then he turned again. The moment where he looks at us, he pulled out the big pile of rocks he has in his pocket. He's like, I'm glad I didn't leave the house with my magic pebbles. Or lucky pebbles. So, but then at the end, Uncle Albert brings a boy over, I guess his new neighbor, I don't know, to meet Mary. And of course, it's the kid who played the human version of the prince. And so there's that. And like, one of the first things she says to him, she pulls out the rock, like, look, I have my dad's magic pebble. We as an audience know what this means. Won't explain how she got it, but fuck it, magic. But that kid has no idea what the fuck that is. Imagine you've met someone, and the second thing they've ever said to you is like, I have my dad's magic pebble. I'm like, cool! I'm gonna go over here now. But no, it cuts to them dancing or skating and together. It's all cute, but that's fucking weird. It's so weird. Well, that's this movie. It's a weird, weird movie. Again, it's not very good. I don't recommend it. I'm sure there are other versions of this. I am probably not going to watch another version of the Nutcracker. I don't think I care for it. So, till then, I guess we'll just have to see what happens at the Rumble. Hopefully I win and I won't be back here for a very long time. But whatever happens, I hope you have a Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, whatever else you celebrate, Happy Holidays. I'll see you in 2023, and God willing, it'll be my year. See ya.